Tonight, the father of a 7-year-old autistic boy is demanding answers from a local school district after his son was allegedly molested by an older student on his school bus. In a story you will only see here on Fox 46, the father says he has now filed a complaint with the federal government against Catawba County Schools. Bill Malugin is here now live with what he's uncovered. Bill?
Well, guys, you can certainly imagine this dad's shock when he says his son got off his special needs school bus with his pants undone and nearly falling off. The bus driver would then yell out that there was going to be an investigation involving a 19-year-old student and then drives off. What his son would later tell him and what he would end up seeing on the bus surveillance video would shake him to his core as a father. Because of the nature of this story, we have decided to hide his identity to protect his son's privacy. And I do want to warn you, some of what you're about to see and hear is very upsetting.
How did your pants get undone? I don't know. Who did it?
Though it's been 8 months since the events captured in this school bus video, it still gives this Catawba County father a sick feeling, as if it happened yesterday.
My heart fell in my stomach.
His 7-year-old son is a student here at Clyde Campbell Elementary School, part of Catawba County Schools. When a district bus dropped his son off at home on May 24th, his wife immediately knew something was wrong.
My wife, she saw my son. His belt was undone, his zipper was down, his button was undone. So basically his pants were almost falling off.
The bus driver told her something had happened involving a 19-year-old mentally challenged student who they refer to as Grandpa.
We're gonna investigate this a little bit more. There was an older student sitting with him, and we're going to investigate this a little bit deeper.
The father says the bus then drove away.
I began asking my son what had happened. I didn't want to, imply anything because my son is autistic and he's 7 years old. He informed me that a grandpa had unbuttoned his pants on the bus, took his belt off, and touched him in his genital area while he was on the bus.
He says he immediately contacted law enforcement and the vice principal of Clyde Campbell Elementary at the time of the incident, a man named Kyle Stocks.
Mr. Stocks contacted me again and indicated that he got a hold of the bus driver and there was an incident that happened and that there was bus video.
The father would later meet with district administrators to watch the video, which he has provided to Fox 46 Charlotte. His son is sitting here, while the 19-year-old is standing up in the aisle.
This 19-year-old was walking up and down the aisles while the bus was moving. The bus driver and a monitor told this 19-year-old to sit down with my son. He's a disabled student that, unbeknownst to me, was on that bus and to my son's mother. The school didn't tell us, they didn't inform us, there's no documentation. During the bus ride, you can see this 19-year-old sliding over towards my son. You can see his head going down past the top of the seat and my son's head.
The boys sit next to each other for over 30 minutes, often disappearing below the headrests away from the view of the camera, and the 19-year-old continues to slide closer to the boy. Eventually, the 19-year-old moves up to the front of the bus and gets off at his stop. It's when the son comes up to the front of the bus that the bus monitor realizes his pants are undone and begins to question him.
Who did it? Grandpa did. Grandpa unbuckled your pants? Yeah. Did Grandpa do anything to you? Yes.
It wouldn't surprise me about
Better not have touched him, that's the thing. What did he do?
The pulled my finger in my nuts.
He pulled your finger to his nuts.
Oh my God. That's so silly.
A short time later, the bus stops to drop the boy off, where off camera, his mom sees him with his pants undone, and the video ends as the bus drives away.
Grandpa did that, Mama.
Oh my God.
It was hard to watch, very hard to watch. I don't want any parent to have to go through that.
The father says after viewing the video, he removed his son from the bus and told district administrators he would never put him on a Catawba County school bus again.
He was interviewed, had a forensic interview, and it was proven that he was assaulted. The 19-year-old was interviewed as well. The Catawba County Sheriff's Department, the detective, was involved in that as well.
According to the incident report from the Catawba County Sheriff's Office, the case was classified as indecent liberties with a child by having inappropriate contact with the victim. The father says deputies told him the district attorney wasn't going to charge the 19-year-old because of his disability, which he has no problem with.
I'm completely okay with the 19-year-old not being charged. He's actually more disabled than my son.
The father says his problem lies with Catawba County Schools administrators and what he sees as a lack of supervision on the bus.
In that video, there's children, disabled children, not sitting properly in their seats. They're laying from one seat to another across the aisle of the bus. One female student has got her head, she's laying down in the seat and got her head in the aisleway of the bus. So, safe to say that safety and monitoring is not one of the most important things for, I guess, this bus driver and monitor.
He provided me with several emails he sent to district administrators with lists of his questions on district policy, specifically why a 19-year-old was on his son's bus. In this email, former interim superintendent Dan Moore apologizes for the delay and promises to answer his questions within 10 days. But the father says he never heard back from Moore, and nobody at the district has given him answers to his questions to this day.
Why was there a 19-year-old man, disabled man, on my son's elementary school bus? Why was there not proper monitoring of this 19-year-old or the other disabled students?
The father tells me he wasn't provided the video from the school bus or the district's documents about the incident until several months after the fact, after he had hired an attorney.
I do not understand why I had to get a lawyer to get that information. That kind of got me to that point to where I can't trust them.
When I reached out to Catawba County Schools to get some answers, I was referred to their attorney, who told me the school district disagreed with the father's allegations and that they couldn't comment because of student privacy laws. So I asked if, as a matter of general district policy, could they tell me why an adult disabled student would be on a school bus with disabled elementary school children, and if it's the district's position that the bus monitor and driver were monitoring the students appropriately. After 2 weeks, I still hadn't gotten a response, so I reached out one final time, asking for a comment. In response, I was told, quote, "Mr. Molugin, I have provided all of the information the board can release in this matter. Thank you for your understanding." The father tells me the district still has never told him how long the 19-year-old had been riding his son's bus, and he says he noticed his son's demeanor completely changing in the months leading up to the incident, leaving him to wonder if it wasn't the first time something like this had happened.
His whole character changed to the point to where he was quiet when he would come home, withdrawn, would go to his room by himself.
He provided me with several months of his son's daily classroom reports, where the teacher often reported that he wasn't eating at school. He says his son has been seeing a therapist in Hickory ever since the incident.
He knows that it was bad. He knows that this 19-year-old should not have been touching him. It makes him cry. And truthfully, it makes me cry as well.
Now, Catawba County Schools tells me that the bus driver in this incident resigned from his position in September of last year. That's 4 months after the incident caught on that videotape. My request for the bus monitor's disciplinary records was denied because it's technically considered confidential personnel information. The father has filed a complaint against Catawba County Schools with the United States Department of Education's Office of Civil Rights. He has been contacted by one of their lawyers who confirmed they have received the complaint, and right now they are looking into the merits of the case. Live in the studio tonight, Bill Molugin, Fox 46 Charlotte.